good Sunday. Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. I'm all over social media right now. I am Kendrick, the sports guy, and you have tuned in to our Sunday Sports Wrap, where I go live every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time to kind of go over, give you some of my thoughts on some of the hottest stories from the previous week. I hope everyone is having a good 4th of July weekend. Hope you are staying safe out there, staying hydrated. If you're in Texas, because it's pretty hot. And again, as I said, I'm live on TikTok as well right now, and we got quite a few people in the chat. I want to thank that. Thanks for liking the live. I appreciate that. What's up, Chico? Who is that? I am T God. Appreciate the likes, good brother. But again, I'm Kendrick, the sports guy. Again, we're going to give you 30 minutes of sports talk. It's kind of been a slow week this week. It's 4th of July weekend, but we got the Major League Baseball All-Star game. That will be, I think that will be jumping off next week. I think it's Wednesday, matter of fact. So we're going to talk a little bit of NFL, talk a little bit in the NBA, and we're going to get out of here. But to my people on Facebook and YouTube, make sure you like this, share this live stream to your social media accounts. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channels. Those channels are Kendrick Sports Hustle, that's SporTZ, as well as TFG Sports Media. And I got to do this and get this out the way because for some reason my Wi-Fi always like to act up. And I'm damn near sitting next to my router, but it just don't want to act right. So I got to say this, Wi-Fi, you come in here, you sit down, you be quiet, put your hands in your pockets, don't touch a damn thing. And we're going to have a good show, all right, Wi-Fi? I think it's all good in the neighborhood now. I think the Wi-Fi is listening. And then look at that. It's a little lag right there. But anyway, I want to thank everybody here on TikTok that's in the chat. I see you, Eddie. Good Sunday to you. Weeze, I see you. Good Sunday to you as well. Braden Upton, I believe. I hope you're having a great 4th of July weekend. I'm a clown. What's up? I'm a clown, and I can be a clown too sometimes. What's up, Mo? Good Sunday to you. So let's go ahead and get off. Bear down. I see you, Mo. I think I remember you. And yeah, let me say I've been away for 2 weeks. I do have to say this. I hadn't been live in 2 weeks because the last 2 weekends I've been had some engagements. 2 weekends ago I had a family function in Fort Worth, Texas, which it was a great time to see my family. And then last Saturday, my sons and I had to help their sister, my only daughter. We had to help her move into her new spot last weekend. So the last 2 weekends, I've been kind of tired, so that's why I hadn't been live. But I'm back. Unc Love, it's green screen. Yes, I do, Phil. I got to. If you don't know now, you know I'm a Packers fan, living in Texas. I was born in the mill town. I was born in Milwaukee, but I've been in Texas the majority of my adult life. Appreciate that like, Matt. Appreciate that. What's up, Thomas? So we're gonna jump right into this thing. Let's talk a little NFL. I was reading this morning on ESPN. Well, there seems to be I appreciate that. There seems to be go Pack Go. That's what's up. We might have some contract negotiation issues in the Steel City. Parker fan from Appleton, Wisconsin, brother. Much love. Appreciate that, Phil. I'm a Steeler fan, Shane, but that's a good background. Thanks, Shane. Appreciate that. Speaking of the Steelers, you roll right up into that. What up, Unc? What's up, Wilf? What's going on? What's good with you? Happy 4th. I was reading this morning, TJ Watt. There's some contract issues that needs to be addressed. Well, he's in the final year of his deal. Appreciate that follow. And he did skip voluntary OTAs, and he did not attend the mini camps from last month. But he's looking for a new deal. And he signed an extension back in 2021, a 4-year, $112 million deal. That's about $28 million per season now. But that is on the low end of the totem pole because Browns defensive end, edge rusher, whatever you want to label him, Myles Garrett reset the market. He's like $40 million now. And prior to him, Max Crosby for the Raiders actually reset the market. So I can understand why TJ is feeling some type of way, considering his 8 years with the Steelers. He's a 4. And again, he spent his whole career with the Steelers. They're gonna have to pay the man. And I mean, again, when you talk about he's the heart and soul of that defense too, in my opinion. So it sounds like there could be some contract issues brewing as far as TJ Watt and the Steelers. Now, will he show up for training camp? Which for most teams kicks off in 2 weeks. That's going to be interesting because this is when if you don't start showing up for that, then you start losing money. You get fined. Shane says it's not about the love of the game anymore. It's about all that green. Yeah, Shane, I think it's a little mixture of both. But I understand from the player's perspective, especially when you're 31. TJ's about to turn 31 years old in October. Most of the time, that second contract you get in the NFL, that's going to be the biggest one you get, that second one. And, let's be honest, NFL players, a lot of their money, their money, all of it ain't guaranteed. So at the end of the day, when you at the prime of your career, that's when you got to get your money. Yeah. That's just my thoughts on my take on that. Shane says when they get it, they don't play that well, though, half the time. You got a valid point. And it's funny you mentioned that. Me and a buddy of mine was just talking about Ezekiel Elliott, how he fell off. And you know when his production fell off? After he got that extension. After he got that extension from Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, he was working out in Cabo or wherever. He was holding out. He got that extension that at the time made him the highest paid running back in the league. His production went right down the toilet. And here we are now. Matter of fact, Ezekiel Elliott is still unsigned, as far as I know. Being asked, how much confidence do you have in the Packers versus Detroit in week 1? I have all the confidence in the world, being that Lambeau is going down week 1, and we're going to send them Lions back with their tails tucked between their damn legs. That's how confident I am in week 1 when the Packers host the Lions. Michael says, I feel like it's pretty easy to tell who will be an issue after a contract, though. Michael, yeah, that's true. That's true. You're right about that. And I will say this about TJ. He hasn't talked about his contract situation. He hadn't talked to the media about it. He hadn't made no big stink about it. So those normally are the players that, you ain't got to worry about them. They're gonna stay on top of that game. Why the green screen? Well, I mean, that is the green screen, Aaron. I don't know why you're asking. Why? Why? Because it's the Packers. That's why, Aaron. That's why the green screen. That's why Jair is gone. Yeah, Michael, Jair, and again, I say this all the time. Your availability is your best ability, and Jair missed a whole lot of games the last 2 years. You feel me? So that relationship had soured anyway. But, on to the Ravens. I wish him well. And the Ravens got nice little secondary now, adding him with Marlon Humphrey and the rest of those guys with the Ravens, excuse me. So, again, TJ Watt, we don't know. He hasn't officially said he's going to hold out. Again, training camps will start in the next couple of weeks for all teams, and we're going to keep our eye on that situation. Michael says Jair didn't want to be in Green Bay either. Yeah, I didn't think Gutekunst and Murphy wanted him around that much either. I just think I think they were cordial, but I just think it's kind of like one of those type of things when you're married, but you're not really fighting, but it's over. So you still staying in the same house, but you ain't speaking. That's kind of how it was, I felt like, with Jair and the Packers. Watt or Trey Hendrickson? Oh, I'm going with Watt all day, but Trey Hendrickson is nice too. Speaking of another edge rusher that's wanting a new deal in Cincinnati, and I think that situation is fractured too, as far as that relationship between Hendrickson and the Bengals. So we're going to keep our eye on that one as well. But the Steelers, my thoughts on them, that, this is the last go-around, definitely for Aaron Rodgers. I think this is it. He pretty much said that. I appreciate that follow, Michael. And I think this might be the final go-around for head coach Mike Tomlin, too. I think this Steelers team, you still got to find a quarterback for the future. Aaron Rodgers is just a patchwork. He's just a fix-a-flat, Will Will Howard be that guy? They drafted out Ohio State. We'll see. Mason Rudolph is the backup. So I think this is the last go around, definitely for Mike Tomlin, and I like Tomlin, but I think he's kind of stayed. I think maybe he stayed in Pittsburgh a little too long. But we all know Steelers organization top notch. They don't fire coaches; they let coaches retire and move on and do all that stuff anyway. But I think the Steelers team are trying to make a run. They hadn't had much playoff success in the last 8 years. Who is that? Leak says Vikes winning the NFC. The NFC or the NFC North? You saying they win in the NFC? Oh, I say hell to the gnaw if you saying they're gonna win the NFC. They damn sure ain't gonna win the NFC North. That's my opinion. That there is I wouldn't pick the Vikings. And we were speaking of the Vikings. That's the one team in the NFC North. At the quarterback position, you really kind of don't know what's going to happen there with J.J. McCarthy. So that's kind of one of the things. We win in the North. Nah, y'all ain't winning the North, brother. Y'all not winning the North. But I do think the NFC North is always going to be competitive, as just as well as the AFC North and the NFC East. To me, those three divisions in the NFL are always competitive. So again, we got training camps jumping off. If you want to get some football fix going on prior to that, this coming Tuesday, Netflix is dropping the season 2 of Quarterback, by the way. That is going to be dropping on Netflix on Tuesday, and it will feature Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow. It will feature Atlanta Falcons backup quarterback Kirk Cousins, and it will also feature who is the third? Oh, the Detroit Lions Jared Goff. Go, Pack, go. That's right. What's up, Austin? Thanks for popping in. So if you're looking for something to watch, what's happening, Dean? Who do you look at Quarterback Season 2? It premieres July 8th on Netflix this Tuesday. And you get to see some of the behind-the-scenes things of what these guys go through and some of the stuff. So, it's going to be interesting to see. I do want to see a little bit of the Kirk Cousins reaction. They say it's going to be some of that in this season 2 of when the Atlanta Falcons picked Michael Penix Jr. in the first round. After they gave the Falcons signed him to what 3-year, $100 million contract, and now he's just a high price backup. So there you have it. No bias. How do you think McCarthy is going to be this season, sir? Nobody. I don't know. And I was just saying that. I really don't know. I think it's going to be some growing pains because, again, the last tape we have of McCarthy is when he was at Michigan. So, I don't, this is technically his rookie year, even though, this is his second year. So for him to be the guy, O'Connell, I guess, is confident in what he's going to do. I don't know. But I do know I think O'Connell is probably going to try to lean a little bit more on that run game early on in the season. Now, I'm sure that's what he probably want to do, but you got Justin Jefferson out there. You want to make sure you definitely keep him involved. So I don't know. We'll see. I think the Vikings they're gonna be treading water, I think, early on, just to see, McCarthy's gonna have to get comfortable. So that's my opinion on that. And again, I think the NFC North is gonna be a dogfight. Until somebody beat them, the Lions are the top dogs. Until we got to beat them, we got to knock them off that mantle. Hey, what's up, Brandon? Appreciate you for popping in. Appreciate the follow too. Salute to you from my home state, my birth state, Wisconsin. Do you think LaFleur is on his way out? Nah, Matt LaFleur, he's safe. I think he's pretty safe. I don't see any reason to get rid of Matt LaFleur. Believe me, I really wasn't that high on Matt LaFleur when he first came in due to I didn't think he had enough experience as far as like play calling and things. But I like Matt LaFleur. I don't have a problem with him. I don't think he's going anywhere. And from the Bears, bear down. Yep, y'all always down. And y'all going to stay down. And we're going to make sure y'all stay down too. Because, we can't stand on Bears. Love the man cave. Go Pack, go. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate that. But I cannot tell a lie. It is my want to be man cave. I'm actually running this image through my green screen. So I am going to speak this into the universe. Eventually, I'm going to get my own man cave, and it's going to look just like this. You feel me? So there you have it. So yeah, that's what's going on in the NFL. You know, training camps are kicking off here in the next couple of weeks. I got to ask you guys about the big trade in the NFL. I really didn't mention it. Jalen Ramsey going to the Steelers. Steelers sending Micah Fitzpatrick to the Dolphins as well. I think a 5th rounder, and they also get Jonnu Smith. The Steelers get the tight end as well. What you guys think about that trade between the Dolphins and the Steelers? Ramsey going to the Steelers, adding him to the mix of Joey Porter Jr. And they also they signed what's the cornerback? Darius Slay too. Hey, they got Darius Slay. So the Steelers have amped up the back end of that defense. What you guys think about that trade? Blast said he think the Steelers won that trade. Dar Erickson said, no, Steelers have 5 players that are going to retire after this. Pitt loading up for a 1-year run. I agree with you, Drew. I think that's exactly what they're doing. Again, because we all know Aaron Rodgers ain't going to be there, but 1 year. We all know that Jonnu Smith would be more impactful than you think Jonnu Smith or Jalen. You probably think Jonnu Smith is going to be more impactful than Jalen Ramsey. I got you. Go Packers, hoping for a Green Bay and Pittsburgh Super Bowl. I like that idea, Bolton. I wouldn't have a problem with that because that's the team we beat to win our last one. And oh, by the way, the Packers and the Steelers play in November. I believe that's a Monday night game too. The Steelers come to Lambeau. So yeah, Aaron Rodgers, he comes back to the frozen tundra. Dar says, I love Tom. They are picking older players. Truthfully, trying to get experience for younger players. I see you go, Pack, go. You going to that game, Michael? Oh, it's at Pittsburgh? I thought it was at Lambeau. I think that game is at Drew. I think the Steelers and Packers I think that's at Lambeau. But I could be wrong. I thought it was at Lambeau. I wish it was at Lambeau. If it's not, that's my mistake. I had to look at the schedule then. For some reason, I thought that was at Lambeau. But again, we got to look forward to that. So it's NFL time, ladies and gentlemen. The end of this month. So we got some football, even though it's a Hall of Fame game. It's still football. GPG. That's what's up, Drew. Appreciate that. So again, NFL right around the corner. If you want to get an early fix, you can check out Quarterback Season 2. That premieres on Netflix on Tuesday. Do you feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to be ready? He probably will. He's a veteran guy. I did read that he's been working out with his receivers. They flew out to where he's at in Malibu. Appreciate that follow too, Joe. I think he's going to be, he's going to be ready. Is he going? But he's damn so ain't the Aaron Rodgers of 3 or 4 years ago. The Steelers definitely going to have to have an offensive line that can protect him because his mobility isn't as good as it once was. Obviously, that Achilles rupturing that Achilles, that'll take a little bit away from you as far as your mobility. But I think he'll be ready to go. Also, do you think we re-sign Dobbs or Watson at the end of the year? If you asking me honestly, Michael, I think Dobbs is going to probably be traded anyway. And Watson, I would say no. I would say he probably won't. They probably won't. I'd have to look at his contract details, but personally speaking, I don't think they're going to invest in Watson any more than that they already have because I call him the Anthony Davis of the NFL. He stay in street clothes. We can't keep him healthy. Again, I say it again. Your availability is your best ability. If you ain't available, you ain't doing us no damn good on the IR. I think Michael says, I think they are both going too. Who's going to have the better year, the Cowboys or the Patriots? Just going off, I think the Cowboys will. I think the Cowboys will probably have a better year. I think the Patriots will be better because they put some pieces together. I think they bear down. All right, Keno. All right, don't be disrespectful in the chat. But I think the Cowboys will be better. I think Schottenheimer and he's going to bring a different mentality, I think, to this team, especially offensively. I think their scheme is going to be a little bit different. With that, the offensive line is going to be probably younger. I think they're going to be a little bit better on there. But defensively is going to probably be the key. They're going to have to fix that run defense as far as the Cowboys because they gave up a lot of rushing yards. So they're going to have to tighten that up. Will Matt Eberflus be able to do that? We'll see. Go Lions. I see you, another Lion in the chat. They need a quarterback. Laughing out loud. That's what people are saying, Dallas fans. Well, it's funny. We mentioned me and a buddy when mine was talking about the Dak Prescott. And I think this is a make or break year for him. I think if this season goes off the rails or whatever, I think they're gonna figure out a way to try to they're gonna figure out a way to probably try to trade that, in my opinion. And I think Dak's a good quarterback, but I think he has to be in the right. But that's any quarterback. You got to put a quarterback in the right system that actually accentuates their strengths. And I think this year, I think the Cowboys are probably looking to try to run the football a little bit more, even though they got two good wide receivers over there now. Bringing in just Pickens from the Steelers. Now, is he going to be a head case or a section? That's neat. That's what we'll see. Michael says Michael Penix is better than Dak. I don't think Penix. So I think he's good. What's up? Appreciate the love. Go Pack, go. That's right. So I'm tired is that you got an hour and a half easy of the. My background was video, sports video journalist. That's my background. I worked at an ABC affiliate here in Tyler, and I've been covering the Cowboys since early 2000s. So yeah, I always kind of know what's going on with that team. There you have. Hey, what's happening, Adam? Appreciate that. Another Wisconsinite. Appreciate the love. I appreciate that. You bleed purple, and I bleed gold and green. How about that? Yeah, we are. Oh, that's why your name rings a bell, Joe. Oh, do you think Sanders will start on Browns? Braden, thanks for asking that. I was reading an article this morning. There's quite a few articles that's saying, and Mary Cabot, I believe is her name, and she covers the Cleveland Browns for Cleveland.com, ClevelandBrown.com, I believe. And a lot of people are saying that they're looking at Shedeur and possibly Kenny Pickett being cut. One of them two is going to be cut, according to what a lot of reports, that he's not going to be, they're going with Joe Flacco to start and possibly having Dylan Gabriel as the backup. I don't know, but I'm rooting for Shedeur. You see, Michael said he heard Pickett would start. See, and I just read this morning they say Joe Flacco. See, we don't know until training camp start, until you start seeing these guys probably in pads and running 11-on-11 drills and playing in preseason games. I don't know. It's just it's a lot of conflicting stories, so you really don't know. I tend to like to take the word of those that's closest to the team that writes or covers them in the Cleveland area, because a lot of times they got more of a pulse of what's going on out there. So a lot of times, a lot of these writers on Yahoo Sports or whatever, I kind of take what they're saying as a grain of salt because they're not closest to the team. So I don't know. But if I had to I'm with you, Mike. If I had to put my money on it, I think Flacco is probably going to start week 1. But I would think that Shedeur would somehow end up being that guy. But that's just my thoughts, and that's what I think. Pickett seems like the odd one out. Yeah, that's what some are saying. Yeah, I just hate when players don't have a chance like Trey Lance. Yeah, speaking of Lance, he hasn't even been picked up by anybody, I don't think. Seems like the one with the least to gain, especially with 2 rookies behind him. Yeah. So, man, so we're going to see, and that's going to be one of the biggest storylines too, obviously. Who's going to be the starter in Cleveland? Obviously, you all know, I don't have to backtrack on the NFL draft and Shedeur dropping to the 5th round and all that stuff. So that's going to be, the microscope is going to be on that team and on that division too as well, because you got Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh, you got just will Lamar Jackson, can he finally get the Ravens to the Super Bowl, and the Bengals, Joe Burrow, they came on at the end, but they had a unimpressive 9-8 season. Can he get that team back to where they want to for the go to the Super Bowl in the draft. I mean, my thing is, show a lot of players showboat. I mean, I don't have a problem with a kid being who they are, as long as you ain't being disrespectful. Shadur hasn't shown that he's been disrespectful. There were stories that he went to the Giants and had an entourage and this and that. That's hearsay. That nobody's confirmed that. So I don't know. I was as a disrespectful kid to me at all. Matthew Golden, wide receiver 1 or 2. Looks like Matthew Golden probably going to be just by default because of injuries. That Christian Watson is out, and I don't think the other guys, the Dobbs and those guys are number 1 guy. I think Matthew Golden is going to be the number 1 receiver by default. And but it's not like he can't handle it. I think he's going to be fine there. Caleb undefeated at Lambeau. Yes, the dog shines. The sun shines on the dog ass every now and then. But guess what? It ain't going to happen this year. What about that? You think Travis Hunter would play both positions? Word on the street is he is. Matter of fact, from what I was reading, that they said that he may play a little bit more on the offensive side than the defensive side. That's what I've been reading. So we're going to see. Not saying I want him gone, just wondering what the asking price is. Yeah. So we'll see. Travis will play both. Yeah, he's going to play both. But then, again, I read a report that they said that they look like he may be playing more on the offensive side of the ball than he will on the defensive side of the ball. And I think he could make a top 5 corner. And, I think Travis Hunter's going to be fine. I think you talk about cornerbacks. I think he could be really, really good. Appreciate that follow, Tyreek. As far as receiver, I'm not saying he ain't bad, but I think it's so many top-notch receivers. I don't know. I appreciate that follow. Appreciate that. I don't know, but I think if he just concentrated on playing cornerback, I think he'll be a top 5 corner in this league for years to come. So again, that's the NFL. We're gonna see the young man got paid, got married. People's trying to make fun of him marrying this man. Listen, if that man happy, he in love with that woman, so be it. I try to stay out these athletes' personal lives. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Long as that young fella's happy, who am I to say not to marry the woman and whatever? Metcalf, what do you think he would do? With the most unbiased opinion you can do, what are your thoughts on Detroit this year? I'm wondering how they're going to look. Obviously, on the defensive side, that in the year, I don't know how they're going to look. New defensive coordinator or new offensive coordinator. What are they going to stick to the system that implement every successful explosive Lions offense? How are they going to look offensively? As far as defensively, are they going to be able to fix that run defense? Bringing back some of those injuries, because the Lions had quite a few injuries on that defensive side of the ball. With Aiden Hutchinson, will he be 100% coming off of that broken leg? So, my opinion, I think the Lions are going to be fine, but I don't know what they're going to look like because they're bringing in 2 new coordinators, and are their philosophies going to be different than what Ben Johnson's was and what Aaron Glenn's was? So I think time will tell. But I do know week 1. They're gonna take that L at Lambeau because they're gonna be flying back with their tails between their legs. You know that. Bears 4-time defending offseason champs. I like that. So that's my thoughts on it. And again, I think this NFC North division is gonna be tough, just like I think the NFC East division is gonna be competitive. I think the Eagles, they're gonna take that division, but it's gonna be a dogfight between them and the Commanders. I think the AFC North is gonna be a tough one, but I think the Ravens and the Bengals probably gonna be the teams that's going to be competing for the AFC North. Now, another division, before I get out of here, I think that AFC West is going to be tighter than it's been in a while with the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Broncos, and the Chargers. I think that division is not going to be as easy. It's not going to be handed to the Chiefs. I think the Broncos is going to give them a run for their money because I think the Broncos got a really good defense, and I think the Raiders are going to be better too. And the Chargers are going to probably do their thing. So I think that AFC West division is going to be tight. Obviously, the Chiefs is the defending champs. They've won that division for the last umpteen times. But I think that AFC West division is going to be tighter than it's been in a while. Titans, I'm liking Cam Ward. They in a AFC South division that they could kind of make some noise, but I still think the Titans is going to do that. Now it's looking like Daniel Daniel Jones may be the quarterback for the Colts. He may be the starter. It's looking that way. So the Colts is going to be interesting, but the Titans, I think Cam Ward is going to come in nicely as a rookie. He's going to the Titans is going to be a little bit better, but again, I still think the Texans is the best team in that AFC South division. Who's going to be the starting quarterback in Cleveland? We're just talking about that. From what I've been reading is right now it's looking like Joe Flacco with Kenny Pickett being the backup. Actually, with possibly Dylan Gabriel being the backup, and either Pickett or Shadur are going to be the odd man out because they're not carrying 4 quarterbacks. Most times they just going to carry 3, and that's what I read from Mary Cabot, who actually is writes for the Cleveland.com in that area. So that's my the sleeper teams to do well. The Panthers, I think so. You know what? I think they with them being in the NFC South, I think it's going to be a little bit easier for them, and I think they may do something. I think Bryce Young may have a coming out party. We'll see. Seahawks winning the NFC West. Their defense much improved, and Sam Darnold will make JSN a star. We'll see. We'll see what the Seahawks do. Sam Darnold is all on his back now. He got paid. I think the Chargers take a jump this year. Michael thinks the Chargers will take a jump. Again, I think that AFC West division is going to be tight. So, again, I'm going to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank everybody especially on TikTok, for popping in, for chatting with me on this Sunday. Again, you can catch me here every Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. You can catch me on Saturday mornings as well, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, where we just chatting a little bit about sports. Or you can also catch some of my segments I produce. If you follow me on TikTok, you can go check out some of my segments. Matter of fact, I uploaded a segment on this morning. Paul Pierce says that he is the best pure scorer ever in the NBA. Paul Pierce said that, and I damn near fell out my chair. But anyway, go check out that segment I produced. I posted it this morning. Paul Pierce saying some craziness as he always does. But again, make sure you click that follow button. Follow me here on TikTok. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channels. Those channels are Kendrick Sports as well as TFG Sports Media. You can follow me on Facebook at Kendrick Sports Hustle, as well as TFG Sports Media on Facebook, and you can follow me on Instagram at KDrick1969. So again, I am Kendrick the Sports Guy. You guys can catch me back here next Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Hope you all have a great week. Be safe, be cool, and we'll see you on the other side and on the next report. I am out. Deuces.